Alright guys, picked this John Deere 14SB up at a garage sale a few days ago. I paid $15 for it. It doesn't run right now. I don't know when the last time it ran is, but in this video we're going to see if we can get it to run. So I think first things first, let's get it cleaned up. We'll use some simple green, let that soak for a minute and hose it off and go from there. Okay, so that cleaned up pretty good. I got this cover off here, and this belt is off the pulley for some reason. Pulley still spins, so I'm not sure why that is. Let's check the oil. It's got some in there. We'll probably add a little bit before we start it up. Let's check the air filter. Not too bad. All right, let's get this carburetor off and see what that looks like. All right, we'll clean this up a little bit before we open it up. Oh, yeah, it's not bad at all. All right, we'll take the jets out and see if they're plugged up. All right, trying to get this jet out. Half of it broke off, so that's not coming out of there easily. But you can see this wire does go through, so there's no blockage in there. So let's try this other jet. Yeah, that one looks free too. I don't know if I'm gonna even try to get that one out. Let's try this one. Alright, so this is the jet I just took out on top here, and these are too big to clean it out, so just take a wire wheel and you can go through it like that. And that should be free now. Okay, let's check for spark. NGK. Okay, so we do not have spark. So one thing about these Kawasaki's, they have this igniter here, and I don't know if this is supposed to have two of these. Maybe this has been replaced at one point. So there's another connector behind this right here. So let's try that. so that one has spark. So that's interesting. It looks like this one was added on later at some point, but this one works. So let's leave it plugged into that one for now. All right, I topped the oil off with some 1030. I put a new fuel line and filter on here. This old one was looking pretty nasty. So let's put some gas in and see if it fires up. All right, we got the choke on. Let's see what happens. Okay, so starting the second pull, it sounded really good. Didn't blow any smoke. I'm hearing a bearing noise. I bet you the bearing, I don't know if there's one or two bearings for that blade clutch, but those sound like they're not doing so good. And then, so now I want to test, I want to put this belt back on this pulley and see if the drive system works. So we'll go ahead and do that. See if it works. Okay, the drive system works. Let's check the blade engagement now. Okay, so blade works, but there is an awful sound when the blade isn't turning, so there's got to be a bearing that's bad. So we'll have to investigate that. All right, so a 5/8 socket fits good for the blade. And this should be 8mm. Might be a little bit of dirt in there. And I got the spark plug disconnected, so it's not going to start up. And we might have to take the recoil off so it doesn't spin. Okay, so we got the recoil off and we got this breaker bar on the flywheel nut so the engine won't turn over. So let's try this again. Alright, got it. This piece here was in there, so I just pried it up, pried this out, and you're gonna want to hold it because that kind of popped out with the spring pressure. So that came out like that, and there's your clutch lining material. So I have a feeling it's this bearing that's bad, and it is. This thing does not turn hardly at all. So we can pound this bearing out and put a new bearing in. Looks like it's a 6205 bearing, so that's should be a pretty common bearing. All right, let's get this out of here. Try to clean this up. It's moving, I think. It's coming. There we go. Okay. Yep, 6205. All right, we'll clean up this area where the bearing seats. Okay, so I happen to have a 6205 RS. The RS stands for rubber seal. It's sealed on both sides. So this is a really common snowmobile bearing as well, so that's why I have it on hand. So I'll put the new one in. Alright, so we got a socket for the rest of the way here. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if these zip ties helped or not, but maybe a little bit. Helped guide it in. But I pretty much pushed it, and then my son, you know, got it started. So I want to be careful not to cross thread this. So let's drive it the rest of the way home. Okay, everything's back together, got the blade on. I'll have to order a new blade for this. This one's pretty chowdered. All right, let's give it a test. Alright, so not bad for 15 bucks. Clean it up a little bit. New fuel line. Put that new bearing in for the blade clutch. And I'm not sure why this has these two igniters, but this one didn't work. So go ahead and change the oil. And that'll be all for this video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.